I'm thinking something improvisationally like the more you know, the more you grow. It's Kathy on video. Something like that. That's just clearly off the top of my head. We'll work on that. Really quickly, second round of human metrics. I did a post, a newsletter a month ago on human metrics, and I had a lot of questions. So thank you, first of all, for those questions. So we'll be brief here. Look, it's really important that, human metrics are looked at because what happens is a lot of times we as business owners and leaders, we look at lagging indicators, and lagging indicators are after the fact. They're down the road after a decision has been made. So for example, if I looked at employee attrition or turnover, that's too late for those employees. Further up the decision-making stream are the leading indicators, and those predict the other measures. They come before, and they're really important. So just, again, thank you for the questions. Leading are predictive. So we really need to not just look at our dashboard metrics, which are boring and unsexy. They're important. It's really important, though, that we also look at these other things. So let's look at them. Again, I'll say it again. I'll say it till the cows come home. Laughter. Laughter is, I think, a leading indicator because it tells you how safe people feel in a group to try stuff and fail and learn and grow. Really important. If people aren't laughing, that tells me that you have a toxic culture and there's fear. And fear is going to kill anything good. So laughter's fertilizer. It's good stuff. The second and most important thing, I think, if we're going to look at it, is our teams and individuals in those teams. Are they trying new things? Do they feel safe? Are they taking healthy, smart risks? So again, we're talking about small risks, smart risks in low stakes situations, not high stakes things, not betting the farm. But if your people are not taking small risks regularly and consistently, we have an issue. So look at smart risk taking. That's really important. Are people speaking up? Is there healthy dissent, healthy disagreement? Disagreement is okay. Unhealthy, unproductive conflict kills things. We don't want that. So we want healthy speaking up where it's safe and it's respectful. Really important. Look at individual and team idea generation. Look at idea generation across teams. This is really important because the number of ideas generated with customers or across teams tells you how collaborative or how siloed your team is from other ideas and innovation happening, which is the next thing I want to talk about, which is diffusion of information. You can think of it as kind of like organizational learning. Every organization has learning. So when your smartest people leave, they take that with them. So what's the diffusion of learning? Are teams learning? Are they sharing that information? Is information being shared versus hoarded? That's power. But is it being shared? And what's the rate of that? And then I would also look at how long it takes between people like failing and learning. How fast are people learning? And then the rate of which we are iterating from that learning. Because if it takes too long when people fail to get the learning, or if it takes too long to then course correct, that's an improvement that has to be made. So these are all really important things. And that's all I really wanted to say is like, thank you again for the questions. It's so, so important. I know it's unsexy, it's boring, it's not the fun part of doing a business. It's not. But if we're talking about innovation and creativity and communications and really healthy cultures that produce huge amounts of unlocking human potential, we have to look at that stuff because those measures really tell us, are we headed the right direction? So you can't get worried over any individual measure in isolation. You have to look at trends, look at over time. Is it going up? Is it going down? Is it flatlining? So look at trends. Follow these things, set up your spreadsheet to look at them, and then look at over time. Is it improving? Is it flatlining? Is it going down? Some things you want to go down, some things you want to up. So just pay attention to these metrics because they will always be predictive. By the time you look at employee turnover, for example, or customer defection, the rate which you're losing customers, it's too late. It's not too late to make changes, but it's too late to maybe save those customers or those employees. It's too late. When an employee has a foot out the door, usually they're ready to go. So we can catch these things earlier in the cycle and make really positive changes. So really look at it. And if you're losing really great employees and they're taking their information with you, you have a problem. People are not sharing information. So there should be that sense of diffusion of information and organizational learning and really important things to look at because I really do believe in all my years of being in tech and leading teams and learning and growing and all that other stuff is just these things. I mean, the correlation with success is, I'm not gonna say it's a one, is a perfect line of fit. Not gonna say that because I know I'll have statistics nerds be like, that's not right. But if you're looking at correlation, it's pretty high. It's really, really high. So it is a predictor of not necessarily causal, but it tells you how you're headed and where you're headed and what changes you need to make. And if you can catch things early, you there's time for intervention. So those are the things.